Anything to Nosh? Because this week we watched Season 6, Episode 5, The Couch. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Theodoric.
So what do you think of The Couch?
I really like this episode.
Really?
Yeah. You're surprised?
No, I don't know.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I think we're really getting into the meat of Seinfeld right now.
Uh-huh.
We're really digging into Seinfeld's meat. We got our claws in on the meat.
Uh-huh.
Maybe season 6, end of season 5, season 6 is where things really start to like hit a crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
Later, but I was on the Seinfeld subreddit, and Reddit's like a weird place right now with the whole like API thing. Anyways, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
But I was reading a bunch of like top 10s and lists, and there was like an article, like a print article that somebody shared about Jerry's top 15 girlfriends.
Okay.
Or like famous actresses that. How many do you think we have seen so far? Top 15 of the most.
5.
3.
Oh my God.
So like we got good things to come. We're just starting to hit the sweet spot. We're hitting Seinfeld's sweet spot.
So we should really like promote this podcast now.
Now. It was all 88 episodes of warm up.
So did you like the episode?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
This episode was written by Larry David. It was directed by Andy Ackerman. It aired on October 27th, 1994. Vulture.com ranked it as the 32nd best episode. Screen Crush had it at a middling 95th.
Oh, for once I don't agree with Screen Crush. I could see it being the 30, whatever you said.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. When did it air?
On October 27th, 1994.
Did you say that already?
I said that already.
Okay, sorry.
You can keep that in.
I remove all of my mistakes and I leave all of yours.
I haven't been removed yet.
Who are the guest stars?
Don't you do a recap before we do guest stars?
Nope, I do not. You'd think by now we'd know what we do.
I don't know what I'm doing. We had Rennie Santini reprising his role as Poppie. In terms of new guest stars, we had David James Elliott playing the role of Carl.
Who's Carl?
He was the mover boyfriend.
Oh.
He was in Jag.
Mm-hmm.
He was Jag.
Oh, he was Jag?
I think he was Jag. He was in the Untouchables TV series, and he was in Street Legal.
Wow.
We had Robert Hooks playing the role of Joe Temple.
Okay.
He was in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. He was in a movie called Trouble Man and Airport 77.
Wow.
We had Patton Oswalt playing the role of Clerk. I think this was his first credited TV role.
Wow.
I think he did have another role in something that aired before this, but he wasn't credited in it. So it was like his breakout role. And I remember him telling a story about how he was like super nervous and like Jason Alexander, calmed him down, was like super nice, and it was
nice.
a really good experience. Obviously like Patton Oswalt, recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember Patton Oswalt from? Name me something that Patton Oswalt was been in.
The voice of everything and everything.
Exactly. So specifically, name me something.
He played the nurse on Community.
Okay, there you go.
Well, I've probably seen more of his stand-up than I've seen of like movies and TV.
Sure, yeah. He was in Mystery Science Theater 3000. He was a writer on Mad TV, which is probably like he contributed to like 200 plus episodes of Mad TV. He was the narrator on the Goldbergs, which I believe is I shouldn't. I think it might be a sitcom for a wrestler. No, I'm thinking something else. Anyways. And he was on like 200 episodes of King of Queens.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Neither did I.
But yes, now I can picture him on the show.
I definitely cannot.
Well, I know who's on the show.
Kevin James?
Yes.
And
Leah Remini?
oh, the Scientology lady.
The anti-Scientology.
Yeah, but she was at the time.
Yeah.
And who is his brother and his dad? And kind of like, imagine if George had a brother and a wife. Maybe
That's
not.
King of Queens?
It doesn't fit the George character, but like the mom is kind of.
So you have seen this show?
I mean, I caught things here and there. No?
I don't know. Is that it?
Yeah, so like right at the end we have Jessica Hecht. Hecht? Hecht.
Hecht? I don't know.
Hecht. Hecht.
Exactly.
Playing George's girlfriend Lindsay, but she shows up in the next episode, so we can talk about her then.
Oh, who was the mom and the kid?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, come on. All right, fine. Let's throw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered this episode.
With Poppie returns.
Be still sloppy?
Poppy's. It does have to do with relieving yourself.
How'd you do?
I don't remember.
You always nail it.
I do remember the first time that Poppy showed up, I thought that it was the abortion episode.
I see. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll read the synopsis. I want to point out that this episode's called The Couch. I know it ties the whole thing together, but The Couch is the third storyline in Netflix's synopsis.
Fair.
George cut corners on a book club assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer and Poppy start a pizza business. Jerry's couch gets defiled. Elaine's personal views are tested.
You know, one day we're going to get enough judges on the Supreme Court to overturn that law.
So this is why, let's just get into it. I'm glad Larry David wrote this. I'm not surprised because it is so good and it's so smart. And it's so unfortunately prescient.
Yeah.
Like all the abortion discussion and references were so well done.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Kramer and Poppy.
It's not a pizza till it comes out of the oven.
It's a pizza as soon as you put your fist in the dough.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just no notes.
And what that gives you the right?
The Supreme Court. Also, I mean, she could have said, my body.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. What gives you the right? Is Poppy Italian? Isn't he just nondescript ethnic?
I don't know why I thought he was Greek. But the communists would be...
Were there communists in Greece?
The birthplace of democracy? I mean, I think there were communists everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that. But I thought there was like a takeover.
I don't think there was a violent takeover of communists.
Well, we'll find out on the next episode when we fact check this.
Sure, yeah.
My 20th century history is piss poor.
Especially like European. I mean, if we were Italian or Greek, we'd probably know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. You are both Italian and Greek, aren't you?
I'm Canadian.
Yeah. So let's get into it. The stand-up starts with Jerry talking about love seats.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get a girl to sit close to you on the couch, you make the couch shorter.
It works. You laughed about his quip about the lazy boy.
I laughed the most when he said, "You're practically lying down, go to bed already."
Yeah.
Because we watched Seinfeld on our new reclining couch.
It's full of keys.
That mysteriously barfed out an old set of keys one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 3-seater, and each end reclines, the middle doesn't. And I generally sit up, but with the footrest out if we're watching TV. But by the end of the night, when I already have said, let's go to bed, and you say, no, let's watch another Frasier, I'm fully reclined in the chair and dozing off.
So what should I say to you instead? Go to sleep,
Go
loser?
to bed. Go to sleep, loser.
What did Jerry say?
Say loser.
What did he say?
He said, "You're practically lying down. Go to sleep already."
Oh, okay.
But he also said, "The lazy boy is for half-conscious deadbeats with no job watching TV and eating Cheetos."
Mm. So George is in the book club.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a book club.
Yes.
Emphasis on club and I don't know. What's the opposite of emphasis?
De-emphasis?
But like, you could strike out book. You're in a club.
I'm just in a.
You're in a
diners
ladies
club.
group.
Yep.
You sometimes pick a book.
We sometimes pick a book.
You
We
pick a book,
sometimes read a book.
Rarely read a book.
Listen, we read the books.
Early on in the book club.
Oh yeah.
And then not anymore.
Well, I think we ran out of steam in the pandemic because we couldn't.
You started it in the pandemic.
No.
No?
No. It was way before that.
Mm.
Because we couldn't meet. And so we didn't choose any books. We just remained friends. And then when we were able to meet, it was like, let's just have dinner because it's been, too long. And then it's just remained, let's just have dinner.
But you still pick a book.
So someone picked a book and I tried to get it from the library and I couldn't. It was too popular and I didn't get it in time, so I didn't read it. But 3 of the 4 of us read it. Everyone read it but me.
Oh, so you're the delinquent.
I am. It apparently wasn't a good book, so I didn't miss anything.
There you go.
I had them read
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I thought might be my next suggestion at 90 pages.
Just breeze through that or watch the movie.
I wanted to know, I didn't look it up, but I wanted to know the movie must expand on the book. Like what's...
Can you turn a 90-page book into a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a movie script is 120 pages, right?
I don't know how long movie scripts are. I'm not an actor.
My point was, I made my book club read American Psycho, and then they stopped asking me to recommend books.
If you'd like further deranged books, I have recommendations.
George says, "I have a feeling I'm going to be much smarter than you." Later, Jerry says, Jerry goes, "You're not very bright, are you?" I think George says, "No, but I'd like to be."
This goes back to George admitting that people think that he's smart, but he's not.
Must be the glasses.
So there's a scene with George and Jerry in a couch store.
Yeah, furniture store?
Yeah. And apparently it was like super long and extended.
Oh.
And George goes on a rant about how he loves velvet.
Oh.
Which like comes back several times in the series.
I wish they kept it.
Yeah, but they cut it. But they keep referencing this
the velvet
scene that they cut. The dialogue that they cut.
Someone was, you know how people make fun of like millennial gray, like everyone who owns a house, rents a house, like paint it gray, everything's gray. Our house is gray. And there was a response that said, no, the real millennium home item is the green velvet couch. Because I remember IKEA having this green velvet couch for years and years. And it's such a weird choice. But I think if you were like, I don't want my house to look corporate, I want it to be individual, I'm going to get this green velvet couch.
It's eclectic.
That now is the staple of the millennial home. So, okay, 2 questions. If anyone's sweaty in your home, do you have to offer them a drink?
No, but like service guys, especially like, you know, they're in a truck. They don't have a lot of options. They gotta like, they're on a schedule. They gotta like go bang, 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 delivery. I always feel bad. I don't know about like offering drinks and stuff.
My other
like
question was, do you tip a delivery guy?
Also tough question to answer.
It is, because I want to, but then I'm like, but they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how much do I tip? And then I never have cash. And I like, if I give you like an iced tea, are you going to be offended?
Is the drink a tip?
That's what I'm like. Yeah.
Does it have to be like a beer?
Well, they're working.
Yeah. When I was like utility locator, there was a few times where people would give me beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you drink it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got one of those. What's the Polish beer with the red and white label? Zwingwimmer's has a Polish name.
Oh, yeah. I can't pronounce it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, Zwingwimmer's.
Zwiebeck or something?
Yeah, Zwingwimmer's. We'll correct it next episode.
No, I want to know now.
Zwingwimmer's. There's somebody in their car. Maybe there. If this was a more popular podcast, there would be somebody in their car screaming the name of this Polish beer.
I was close. It's
Zwingwimmer's.
Zivit?
Yeah, that
Ziwiek? Somebody who speaks Polish, please correct us.
It's pronounced beer.
Żywiec. Sounds like something you do in your pants on the couch.
I was going to make a joke, but that's better. So Jerry's getting his couch delivered, and Elaine scoops up this delivery man. How tall is this guy? Did you notice how tall he was?
No, because he's always next to Elaine, and she's very short.
There's one scene where it's Carl, Elaine, and Jerry.
Oh.
This guy's towering over Jerry. Elaine is, I don't know, nipple height. How tall is the Jag?
I feel bad that, Elaine's in love and she can't win.
Well, better to find out now.
True, but
this guy would have ended up being a Trump voter.
Ugh.
And Ron DeSantis supporter.
So Jerry.
So wait.
Okay.
So we have people working on our house.
Yeah.
Rebuilding the fence and our front porch. Mm-hmm. They've been doing it a couple of days. They're probably going to finish tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Should we offer them beer?
I can't remember what we had done a few years ago, but I feel like the crew that came to do whatever it was, like they went above and beyond, and maybe they came out last minute or something, and they were Leaf fans, and it was the playoffs, and I had cash, and as they were leaving, I was like, because we'd been talking about hockey and the Leafs were in the playoffs, and I was like, for the game tonight, like here's money, go buy yourself beer or whatever.
So I remember the situation because it was window cleaners.
Oh, yeah.
And it was when the Leafs were playing Montreal in the playoffs, and the Leafs were up 3-1 in the series.
Oh.
And they never won any of the games.
Did I jinx it?
Yep, apparently. Actually, I jinxed it because the kid was like, I'm a Leaf fan. I've never seen the Leafs in the second round in my life. And I was like, oh, well, after tonight, yeah, no problem. Come on. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
Secure the bag.
I don't know. I guess we should tip them?
I thought we'd give them beer.
What if they don't like beer?
It's the thought that counts.
Let's get them some Ziviets.
It's not a very good beer.
So what are we going to do? We're going to tip these guys? We're going to get them beer?
I don't know. They're supposed to be done a week and a half ago. They don't get
That's
anything.
not their fault. There was a holiday. There was rain. They also squeezed us in earlier than we were supposed to get our stuff done.
This podcast is just an argument with you and me about whether or not we're going to tip contractors.
Because I think we should. And they also did extra work cleaning stuff out of our neighbor's yard.
It's not our fault.
I know it's not our fault, but
yeah, sure.
But also they made some weird choices.
Yeah, maybe if they agree to fix those choices, should we just leave a 6-pack out on the front steps right now? And then it's like, guys, if I come back and the 6-pack is gone, I'm not going to ask any questions.
We can't leave it now. It'll be stolen by the guy who steals packages in our neighborhood.
Porch pirate. So
Jerry, stop it.
Go ahead.
So
no, okay, this time I'll
you talk.
What kind of duck do you have to order 2 days in advance?
So they got to get it from Newfoundland.
Come on, like you're a restaurant. You're making regular. You're not ordering it based off orders. You're ordering in some and you're preparing it and
I don't know, man. These are some really, really excellent ducks, you got to order 2 days ahead.
What do you think? Duck confit? They're confit in that duck?
Probably duck à l'orange.
Mm.
I say with disdain. Ugh. Duck à l'orange.
It's very 80s, 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said it. If chicken Kiev could be with duck, that's what it would be.
Mm.
Jerry brings up Pequeño's pizza.
Mm. Did you look up Pequeño's pizza?
Not a real thing.
No.
Or they say like Pequeños. I don't know. I couldn't find anything like that. But can't order for them because they're fanatical anti-abortionists.
Yeah, so we recently went through this.
Oh, yes. With gelato.
Yep, can't go to the gelato spot down the street because they are convoy supporters.
Yeah.
And anti-abortionists.
Oh, they are?
On the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, they had a sign out front of their shop that said, "Life begins with gelato," which isn't
dear.
explicitly, but it's like, this is not a time to celebrate. Like you're,
what
like if you're
shitheads.
referencing that, you're.
They also strong-armed like independent
Another restaurant, yeah,
waffle shop out of their lease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another waffle shop that had 2 seats. They had an exclusive indoor dining. They said, your 2 seats, get the fuck out of here.
Yep. So we can't get gelato there anymore. And I hope they fail.
They've been around since forever.
I hope they fail.
So Poppy's story, I mean, he's a fictional character, but like very sad. I don't really get why that makes him against abortion.
Because the communists aborted his sibling?
Shouldn't that make him against communism?
You would think, but the logic never follows with these people. So there's an iconic moment where Elaine's talking about how much she loves Carl. She's so happy. She sits on Jerry's couch to do her makeup. And Jerry asks her what he thinks about abortion. And she does the famous lipstick stripe on her face. You like hit me to make sure I was watching.
Because you were writing notes. I didn't want you to miss it. So before this, she's gone on a date with Carl and everything's gone well, presumably. However,
he has no furniture.
No, more than he has no furniture. So he admits to her, "I take you back to my place, but I have no furniture." Okay, you're going for some weird, like, I deal with furniture all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to. He's driving her around on the date in the delivery van.
Yep.
No furniture, no car.
She doesn't care, man. He's pure of heart. He doesn't play games.
I think she needs to
raise
no
her
scrubs
standards
this guy.
So he works for Azari Brothers. They are not a real moving company, but the production designer on Seinfeld was named Thomas Azari.
Oh, there you go.
So when Kramer makes the pizza,
yep,
he's wrong.
Pardon?
Before he gets to the cucumber, it's all wrong.
Before he gets to the cucumber,
Yes.
it's all wrong. How? Okay.
Did you see what it looked like?
Well, it wasn't a good-looking pizza.
It was, okay, fine, the dough wasn't really stretched out or whatever, but it was sauce like the size of a bottom of a coffee cup on dough that's about the size of a sheet of paper.
Well,
and then a mountain of cheese in the middle.
Well, Michael Richards is making a pizza live while he's acting.
They could say, spread the sauce to like within an inch of the edge and sprinkle the cheese over it. Maybe
Not too much.
And then he puts a huge handful right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Cucumbers would just sog up a pizza.
I would be like, have you ever had a pizza with like whole tomato?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, it's no good. Maybe not as bad with cucumbers, because I feel like cucumbers have a little bit more structure. But like cooked cucumbers?
No, yeah.
It's not my jam.
You can't let people choose. They might make bad choices.
Yeah, and if you have a bad choice, you should be able to abort that baby. They should have somebody in there being like, you know what? I made a mistake. They just like rip that pizza out of the oven, throw it in the garbage disposal.
Jerry's got his feet up on his new couch. In his shoes. So then Poppy is at Kramer's.
You gotta get the money for the duck.
He comes over for his duck money. He sits down on the couch and pees. Is he incontinent or did he pee on purpose?
You know, that's a pretty good question that I don't think has been examined. I think canonically he's incontinent.
Mm.
But if it was a malicious pee, that would be much funnier.
And is the pee CGI? Because it's a very perfect oval on the couch.
I don't think the pee is CGI. I think it's probably a physical pee. A physical
liquid application.
Physical stunt pee.
Mm-hmm. And of course, George is at Tom Holland's house.
Tom Holland's house.
What's his name?
He is at Tom Holland.
Drinking grape juice.
Joe Temple.
Well,
he needs something to nosh. Probably noshed those nuts. And they were salty. And he needed something to wash them down. We're professional podcasters. Clean it up.
When's the last time you drank grape juice?
When's the last time you went over to somebody's house and asked if you could watch a movie? Like, going to somebody's house... I was trying to think the last time we had people over to watch a movie.
Never. This is peak head George.
On the Seinfeld subreddit, and this is not recently that I was on there. A couple of weeks ago I was on there, and somebody asked if this was the most despicable thing that George had ever done.
It's up there.
This is just like...
Yeah, going over there, number one. Well, peeking over at the counter, getting the address, number one. Going over there and asking for the video, number two.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing himself to be invited in to watch the movie, number three.
How he acts while he's doing it.
How he acts in their house. Well, first of all, asking for nosh. All of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the owner of the house comes home, he's shushing her.
Well, he should have been like, can we pause the movie?
Right, but he's like I can't with the talking. It's so, it's perfectly gross.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me like this episode in a different way. Because it's like the very worst.
The worst of George.
Yeah. And then Elaine throws a glass bottle of grape juice in her own home.
Weird. Toss it.
Oh, back at the other people's house, when he gets the grape juice on the couch, and the daughter goes, "You ruined our couch." I wrote, "Oh no,
our couch!
It's broken." So there's a scientific article called "Seinfeld: Purity, Danger, and Food Codes on Seinfeld," which is behind a paywall, so I couldn't read. But I'm going to try and read it and report back what they say about this episode.
I'll give you some tips about getting around paywalls.
Okay. On air?
Easiest one that I first try is the Google Archived. So in your search results, there's a little arrow next to the title.
Okay.
You can go to like archived version.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then there's other like sites you can put the link into to be like, get me around this paywall. Why did the last note that I had, I wrote down Fred's gay?
Because the character Fred in Breakfast at Tiffany's is gay.
Oh. Why did I write that down?
Because George didn't get it?
Oh, I was thinking about like when they change movies.
Oh, like what is it in the book?
Yeah, so I assume in the book he's gay and in the movie he's not?
No, he's gay in the movie too.
Oh.
They're friends. Like they have a platonic love for each other.
I see.
I wanted to know if the gross Asian stereotype played by Mickey Rooney was in the book.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard of Breakfast at Tiffany's. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've never read it.
I haven't read it either. You never seen it?
Don't think so.
Oh.
I can picture that scene because it's in the movie Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Really?
Yeah,
they're watching it?
Yeah, they go to the theater and they're watching it and he feels uncomfortable, so she leaves with him because she sees that he...
Yeah.
Who's that actress? She was in Dumb and Dumber.
I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber.
What? Okay, end this podcast. We gotta watch Dumb and Dumber.
No, because I have corrections.
You haven't seen the first one or the second one?
Yes.
I mean, we're not gonna watch the second one because it's terrible. But
So I have congressions. I have congressions. I have corrections about the pledge drive. Gotta go back. So I know you referenced that the writers really saw a guy eating a chocolate bar with a knife and fork. I watched an interview with Tom Gemmell.
oh yeah,
Where he describes writing this episode with Max Prost. And he referred to it as a pompous-ass friend of theirs eating
oh
a candy bar with a knife and fork. And Tom Gemmell is a cartoonist, and he wrote Hallmark cards, which I think is interesting in juxtaposition with the episodes of Seinfeld that he wrote.
I don't feel like writing Hallmark cards is
A skill?
no.
No. So he's a Hallmark card writer who wrote for TV.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's a TV writer that wrote Hallmark cards.
Okay. So, loyal listener Tom made sure that I did a California raisin
Correction?
fact check. Yep.
No, okay.
I had already looked all this up, but the 1986 Sun-Maid commercial for the California Raisin Advisory Board was the genesis of the California raisins. And one of the ad guys said, "We've tried everything but dancing raisins singing. I heard it through the grapevine." So then they did it. The studio that animated it won an Emmy for a claymation Christmas celebration, including California Raisins. California Raisins released 4 studio albums. Then they got the gig promoting Raisin Bran. So they were already big before working with Raisin Bran. They had a primetime TV special called Meet the Raisins! Exclamation mark, in 1988. And that's the first time that they had names. You know any of their names?
Nope. But I bet they're gonna be racist.
You tell me. AC is on vocals, Bebop on drums, Stretch on bass, and Red on guitar and piano.
No, not racist.
Then they had a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was canceled after 13 episodes. So this is the funniest part. This raisin ad campaign failed because the cost to produce it outweighed the earnings that the Raisin Board made by 2 times. And they've been inducted into the Jim Crow Racist Memorabilia Hall of Fame.
Here we go.
And Loblaws bought TNT in 2009.
Oh, so relatively recently.
Yeah.
Huh.
I also have...
so we can't shop at TNT anymore because of Loblaws? Galen, why are you doing this to me?
So the Chinese woman, I also have a correction.
Okay.
Just the definition of supercilious, behaving or looking as though one thinks one is superior to others.
Oh. The thing that I wanted to bring up is on the Seinfeld subreddit. They're currently going through the A to Z of Seinfeld. They're taking each day, they're taking a letter and then commenting on what you think the Seinfeld reference should be. So they aren't through the alphabet right now. As of today, they're on L. And kind of similar to how I was like, we're just getting into the good of Seinfeld. Do you want to go through all of them and you can tell me if we've seen that episode or not seen that episode?
Yeah, rapid fire.
This will test you and also
the subreddit?
Yeah. A, Art Vandelay.
Yes.
B, Bosco.
Yeah. No.
C, Cartwright.
Yes.
D, Del Boca Vista.
Yes. Oh, you've said it a bunch of times.
Oh, I've said it a bunch of times, but that doesn't count. E, Eduardo Caraccio.
No.
F, Festivus. Oh, no. We did have Eduardo Caraccio.
Oh, okay.
F, Festivus.
No.
G, Giddy Up.
Yes.
I don't know if we've had an official Giddy Up, have we?
We've had many Giddy Ups.
Really?
Yep. At least 4.
H, Hoochie Mama.
No.
I, Independent George.
Independent George, no.
J, Jerk Store.
No.
Okay, Kramerica Industries.
Yes.
I don't think we've officially had Kramerica Industries, have we?
Yes, we have.
Currently, sitting with 202 votes for L is Little Jerry Seinfeld.
No.
In second place with 108 votes is Latex, which we've had, yeah.
Latex salesman.
As well as in third place, Levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, next week we have The Gymnast. What's it about?
Sitting in fourth place with my personal favorite, Latvian Orthodox. Jerry dates a gymnast. He's very excited about this because gymnasts are quite flexible, and so the sex should be fantastic.
Cool.
I could be wrong, but this might be the episode where Kramer has a kidney stone. Or did we already see that episode?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, bye-bye.
It's been fun. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
What?
Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?